From the album Destiny, that is the Jacksons with a tune titled Things I Do For You. We are celebrating all kinds of black arts, but certainly Black Music Month 2017 is in full effect, and you are going to get a lot of the diasporic sounds of that when we convene at Odunde on Sunday as a community. But right here, right now, it is time for the start of this week's edition of Reelblack Radio, and Mike D is in the house. Good morning, sir.
Hey, how's it going? Yes, definitely.
And you have brought a crew.
We got a posse. I should have known. We have
try and get everybody
big
in here.
Crew up in here. Yeah, I'm gonna hand Kayla J this camera so that maybe she can get some stuff. But honor and privilege to have the writer-director, the star, and the producer of the movie Jason's Letter, which premieres this Sunday in Dover, Delaware.
Yep.
So let's go.
I'm Terrence Takeem. I wrote, produced, and directed the film. It's obviously, it's an issue that we're dealing with, in our community with the unarmed police shootings. And I got a letter from a young boy in Ferguson. Mm-hmm. And he wrote the letter, and in the letter he came up with these solutions of how to stop the cop shootings in his community. And I saw the letter, and I was like, wow. And he was 11 years old at the time, just getting returned 12. And I was like, but the solutions in it are like amazing. So I said, my friend said, you're going to want to turn it into a movie. And I was like, you're dead right about that. And we started working on the film. And the film stars Vivica Fox, Claudia Jordan, Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side, Joe Ganascoli played Vito on Sopranos, Paul Anthony from the group Full Force and the House Party movies. And Paul is actually one of the, he's a co-producer on the film. And we reached out and got I looked at a bunch of little boys, and I came across Jamal, and I said, yeah, he would be perfect for this part. And he delivered in his role in the film and did a really good job.
Yeah, so we have Jamal, which Manigo, who we can't see.
I was going to say, there's a whole lot of booms. But
we got a second. We have a second. Just look at the second camera. We'll make this work. Anyway, so Jamal, and you're 12.
Yes, I'm 12.
And you're not on the mic. But anyway.
There we go.
Right. Okay.
Hey yo, my name is Jamal Manigo. I play Jason McKee in the feature film Jason's Letter. I was very appreciative. Shout out to Mr. Terrence. He allowed me to be in the film. And the film was basically about a lot of police brutality in Jason McKee's community and how his letter changed a lot and how he comes up with a solution that might change a lot.
And this is your first starring role?
Yes.
And I want to shout out Nakia Dillard, who has been all over Instagram talking about. So talk a little bit about your training, because you work with ICANN and to develop your acting skills. And this is your first feature. So how are you processing this access and this opportunity to really show the world what you can do as an actor?
Well, it took a lot of practice. I practiced a lot with my family and Nakia. He helped me develop the letter a lot, and he helped me make it my own. He helped me a lot do that. So it took a lot of practice.
Excellent. Well, we are certainly glad to know you have this opportunity. And Paul Anthony.
Yes. How are you?
Can I just say, so music is my first thing.
Absolutely.
I talk about a lot of things culturally, but music is my first love and will always be, a part of my background, what I do and what I share with the world. And Full Force, I can't even begin to tell you how much of an influence the group and your ongoing production has been in the world of music. For people who do not know all of the artists that you all have produced over the year, before we even get into the acting, can you kind of run down the discography? Because people need to understand how long you all have been at this and how many stars and hits you all have made.
We've been blessed over the years to work with a number of artists, from the Godfather of Soul. I always start with him, the Godfather of the Soul, James Brown, and Bob Dylan, and B.B. King, and Patti LaBelle. And then, we work with Nicki Minaj and Rihanna and Black Eyed Peas and Gerald Levert and Faith Evans and Sheila E. and Tevin Campbell and Backstreet Boys, of course, NSYNC, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears. It's quite a few. And
it would be all. Yeah, this would be all.
Right.
So clearly, you have an eye for talent.
Just a bit, right?
Undeniably.
So how do you become involved with Jason's Letter?
Well, Terrence was working on another project, and then when I read the synopsis, and I seen what this was about, I asked to be involved. You know, I brought Vivica Fox to the project, and Terrence liked what she brought to it. But more than that, it's what it stands for. I had to align. Being a cancer champion right now, there's various types of cancers, and the worst cancer is the cancer of the spirit. And the way we cure that is, you know, like films like this, to evoke change and to raise the vibration of everyone. And this is a very thought-provoking film. So when I saw that, the alignment was just obvious to me, and I had to be a part of it. And I'm just blessed because it's you know, just from the letter from a 12-year-old boy to show that can evoke change, that's key. And we hope this will be a lightning rod for other kids to follow as well.
And you know, for you also, we coming to understand your acting skills, you know, we laughed in House Party and all these things. So this sounds like this is a dramatic role for you. This is a different kind of turn on how we are used to seeing you on the screen.
But hang on, you gotta do a little House Party for us.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Before we get dramatic.
You want your little house party? Easy. Listeners, if y'all don't come out, I mean come out in droves to see Jason's letter, we gonna kick your freaking ass. Here's the house party. That's what Lou would say. That's what Lou would say.
Yes, indeed. So, you know, from a letter to a screenplay to having all this star power involved in the creation of the film, how did you get so many wonderful actors on board in order to help you tell this story?
Well, you know, like my first film, because I was here on one of your, I was on, I think it was Michael Cord show, and we talked about my first film, which is a touched film I did on the child sexual abuse.
Yes.
So that's another issue that people just won't want to talk about. Right. And we finished that film. Actually, that film will actually be on the Lifetime Network this fall. We finally, we finally got that. I was going through some legal stuff with that, and I finally cleared it up. They doing one of the stories, and she's an abuse survivor. Gabrielle Union is narrating it.
Okay, wonderful.
So, but what happened was I had so many actors in that film. You know, Stephen Baldwin, I had Stephen, I had Denise Boutte, I had Terry Vaughn from Steve Harvey, I had Tony Sirico from The Sopranos. So I had a lot of Omarosa. There's a lot of people in that film. So by me doing that film, it allowed me that gateway to use some of my contacts from when I played sports and when I did when I was signed to Warner Brothers as an artist. And I just called in favors. Yeah. And you know, the connections I've made over the years. It's all about relationships. The whole industry is about relationships.
I'd say that again, please.
The whole industry is about relationships.
Because that's something that we talk about so often throughout our programming day here at WURD, that nothing happens in a vacuum, that people have to understand, whether you're talking about a successful mom and pop business or whether you're talking about a larger scale endeavor like what you're talking about with a feature film.
You gotta have connections.
Yeah, and you can't burn bridges.
That's right.
You have to be able to continue to network with people, and you never know when just that phone call will be the difference in how you secure people to help you see your vision through to the end.
Let me make this clear, because I do this in every single interview. I need to make this very, very clear to people, because I keep getting these questions. This is not an anti-cop film. Okay, I want to repeat that. This is not an anti-cop film. This is an anti-bad cop film, because there's so many good cops that go to work every day and they do their job and they won't go home to their families. They just want to secure the community. What this is focusing on, a little boy saw that there's a problem with these unarmed shootings, and a child thought that he needed to come up with a solution to these shootings. I mean, the fact that when people watch this film and they see all the different, because I put exactly what he put in this letter. There's a bunch of different things, but they're going to focus on the one thing, the premise of the film, which I can't give away. They're going to focus on the one thing in that letter. But he said a lot of different things in that letter. And when they come, like I said, this Sunday, she said it, this Sunday, we'll be in Dover, Delaware, screening the film. It's pretty much almost sold out. So if you don't got your tickets, go to schwartzcenter.com. There's only a few more left. And just come on out and see this film, because once you leave, I want it to be the film to start the dialogue much more than anything else we've seen so far. That's why I tell people, if you feel good, I need you to feel empowered after this film.
That's right. And we'll all be there. Vivica Fox is flying in. Wow. The mayor's rolling out.
Yeah, we're doing it in conjunction with the city government over there. We're doing it in conjunction with the mayor and the police force. So like I said, this is not, like I said, when you watch the film, you're gonna get a jolt. When he reads that letter, you're gonna get a jolt because of some of the things he's saying in the letter. Yeah. But it's not like it's something that's not happening.
Right.
You know, it's not like we're making this stuff up. You know?
And again, you built relationships, you built a coalition. So the fact that you have the mayor and the police force involved in the screening of this film, I think is incredibly important.
Exactly. It lets you know, like I said, this is not an anti. I keep saying this in these interviews. You know what I'm saying? The fact that cops cops get themselves in positions for these type of shootings to happen. That's individuals. It's not by and large. It may be a happening a lot now, more than what we probably could have imagined, but it's still about individuals, and we got to really it's up to them to really police those individuals. So it's up to us to really bring that awareness to force them to police those individuals who don't belong in those positions that's not protecting the community.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I know you guys have a full press day today, and I super duper appreciate you all coming.
Most definitely.
And
yes.
Sheila in the back there.
Sheila's shooting other video. We got a lot of camera action happening here right now.
This is a very well documented event. So, but while Jamal's here, 12 years old, I always like to ask people, like, where do you see yourself in the future? What's your 5 years from now, when we bring you back on, what's going to be, what are you going to be talking about?
Well, 5 years from now, I want to be a director. I want to be like Mr. Terrence. I want to work with a lot of celebrities and do a lot of things. I want to have my own company called Jamal and Company. First off, I want to start it as like a reality show sitcom type. Basically about my company when I grow up, and I really want to pursue in acting. I want to be like the director, actor type that I could, like Tyler Perry. That's where I get a lot of my motivation from. I want to act, and I want to be a director and have my own movies.
I was going to say, make sure Paul Anthony gives you all kind of workout tips, because for you to be a director, actor is a vigorous career. Right. So you got to take good care of yourself in order to maintain that.
Well, I'm scared of you. But you put it out in the spirit, and you're around some great people.
Thank
you're
you.
already learning.
He's learning from a lot of good actors, because he's around. His mom takes him to New York. He's around a lot of people who's already in the public eye.
For you to score a lead in the film and carry the thing and be the title character.
Oh, and he carried it.
Yes.
Oh, he carried it.
Look, I'm not worried about you. I'm saying I'm scared of you.
He's getting a solid good start.
And remember, I love you and hire me.
Well, I go to a really nice school. I go to String Theory Performing Arts, 16th and Vine.
Yes.
So I go to a very
and it's a beautiful school.
Yes, it is a very beautiful school. I go to String Theory Performing Arts, 16th and Vine, and they teach me like a lot of different things in the acting industry. I'm a theater major, so they make me practice every single day when I go to school. So I really enjoy it.
Yes, I was just there a couple of weeks ago when Debbie Allen was in town as an artist in residence, and so very impressed with your student body and the overall facility. I told a young lady who took me up to the dance class that if I was a student here when I was in high school, they would have had to kick me out at the end of the day. I would have found reasons to be there all day long and soak up as much opportunity to practice and just to be in that spirit as possible. So we are glad that you have such a support system around you in order to make you excel, and we expect that you will maintain your relationship with WURD, young man, so that we can chart your success. Okay.
Thank you.
And same thing, Paul Anthony. What's next for you, sir?
We put our hands in a few different fires. We're doing a lot of special things. Of course, being a cancer champion, I'm doing a lot of things to bring the awareness of being proactive with your health, nutrition, let food be thy medicine, and just doing some special things around the country. So we're going to do some things in Philly as well, for sure.
Please, and again, same with you.
Yes.
Please stay in touch with the station.
Will do.
We have a Word Wellness Initiative, and so we are always looking for people who are out in the community promoting that, and we're promoting taking care of the whole self here at the station.
Right.
So we'll support it.
Okay, good. Well,
so once again, the premiere is this Sunday. It's almost sold out, but if you want to go and see the film the first time ever, where can they get those tickets?
Yeah, this is a one-time screening. Like I said, we're doing it in conjunction with the city government over there in Dover. You can go to the Schwartz Center Theater in Dover, Delaware. Go to schwartzcenter.com.
SCH?
Yeah, SCH. SCHWARTZ, schwartztheater.com, and get your tickets there. There are a few more. I don't think there's no VIP tickets left. They sold like in the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome.
And it's going to be well covered by the media. So I hope to see you guys. This is a one-time screening. So if you're in that area, you're in this area, come on through and take a look at this film, because you're going to be empowered when you leave. And
your film that's going to be screening on Lifetime in the fall?
Yeah, it'll be in sometime in late September, early October.
And just the
it's called Touched, starring Terry Vaughn, Terry Vaughn, Tony Sirico, Stephen Baldwin, and several others.
Yeah, well, we wish you continued success too. I mean, like I say, the star power that you've been able to assemble for these first feature films is amazing.
Thanks a lot.
We want your star to continue to rise. You stay in touch with the station as well, please.
I've been on everybody's show on here. Rick Ford,
yes.
Michael Cord.
Shout out to the weekend lineup.
It's about connections. Okay, and speaking of connections, we got to make connections with our sponsors, right? Yeah. We got to make some money?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
All right.
Indeed.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for those of you who are checking us out on Facebook Live. Quick break and we'll be back with more of this week's edition of Reelblack Radio. Stay tuned.
Hey you, I know you're busy, but yo, Philly is alive.
Get moving this summer. Check out walking groups, aqua zumba, cycling, and more. All free, all near you. Find what moves you, phillypower.org.
Hey, Brother Shamari, I hear you talking about JD's Auto Body and Painting. That's where I go.
Nick, I know the owner JD personally, and they always take care of me. You asked me, I told you about JD's when you needed car repairs. I've been spreading the word about their professional work.
I know. I remember now, you sure did. They're at 6300 Wayne Avenue in Germantown, right?
215-848-5949. That's 215-848-5949. I know I have it memorized.
Now, we both agree that JD's Auto Body and Painting is the place to take your car for all your auto body repair and painting needs. They work with all insurance companies and free towing with repairs.
Yeah, free estimates and senior discounts, too.
But I bet you didn't know JD's has a 10% discount for WURD listeners.
Come on, Nick. I know Juanita, JD's wife since elementary school. Tell them Brother Shamari sent you, and you can mention Nick, too.
Yeah, that's right. Call JD's today at 215-848-5949.
Word Radio is everywhere, on air, online, and of course, in the community. Here's what people are saying about our new simulcast on 96.1 FM in Philadelphia.
I think it's a great thing for Philadelphia.
That's great. I'm very proud that the station is moving forward.
We have to keep pushing, and word is the way to keep getting the word out.
I am overjoyed. It makes so much difference because if you're on both, then you get everybody.
Word Radio would like to thank the 4Word community for its continued support. You can join the movement now by starting or renewing your 4Word membership at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
I think it's the best thing to happen for a while.
Join the movement.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's gonna explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see. Migraine has ruined my life. Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound. It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
You are listening to The Mojo on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Embrace and explore your black magic.
And of course, from the Oscar-winning music soundtrack or movie soundtrack of Purple Rain, that is the late great Prince Rogers Nelson, as we give another shout out for his birthday that just passed on Wednesday, Prince and the Revolution with When Doves Cry. And I was saying to Abby, lean over and say hi. No, I was going to say wave into the camera. You gotta lean so that the people, there you go. There she is. So the controversy about When Doves Cry, and people who love the song that aren't listening closely don't even really recognize it, is that it has no bass line. And so there was this whole conversation that went around in the music community about whether Prince could actually release a song like that, because who doesn't have a bass line? I mean, really, it was a whole big thing about whether the song should appear this way on the soundtrack, or whether it should be released at all. And then it ends up being one of his most famous songs of all time.
I think he did that with Kiss also, right? That was unconventional pop single.
But I mean,
like he was a groundbreaker, trendsetter.
Exactly.
I mean, people are still catching up to Prince.
Yes, and they will be for many, many more years to come.
He's got more stuff. I mean, June 23rd, the deluxe edition, 3 CD, 1 DVD comes out.
Okay.
So the DVD, at one point they were promising 2 concerts, but now they're just basically remastering the Prince and Revolution live from Syracuse onto DVD. So if you have that,
if you are a collector,
I mean, if you're my age, you have the VHS.
Yeah.
So now don't think that's worth anything.
But the 30th edition, but you all gave away, Reelblack gave away some copies of the 30th edition of the DVD.
When we did our Prince anniversary screening, we gave away copies of his Plectrum Electrum and the last 2 Third Eye Girl album.
Or maybe I bought the 30th edition from you, but I know I have the 30th edition of the DVD, 30th anniversary edition.
Yeah, that's dope. But the DVD and the Blu-ray has some nice stuff on it, including some clips from the MTV world premiere of it, where everybody kind of showed up and.
Yeah,
and lots of music videos and stuff. So Warner's been doing a pretty good job in terms of getting all
they're
that
working it out for his birthday on Wednesday. Those of you who are diehard fans but didn't go digging around all of the press coverage of this, especially being 1 year since Prince left us, really wonderful photos. His sister released a set of photos of Prince baby pictures and other things like that to celebrate his birthday. And then I think it was Entertainment Weekly or Vanity Fair. One of the fashion magazines did a photo spread from the Prince and the New Power Generation era of previously unreleased photos. And, musically, that was a really kind of wonky era for Prince. But just in terms of the overall styling, just the beauty of the man himself, some of those pictures are amazing.
Oh, absolutely. It's hard. There's very few bad pictures of Prince.
Yeah, not many.
It's pretty impossible to get it. Even when you stand outside Walgreens, it's like, dang, he looks good. Really? But
so if you didn't see them on the day of on Wednesday, then make sure you just dig through social media, dig through Google. And you can see some of the articles that were released on his birthday with these beautiful photos.
Well, also this week, June 6th, the release of the 25th anniversary of Juice came out on Blu-ray.
Yes.
So mine
Know the Ledge.
Know the Ledge. Yeah, mine is on its way, and I'll report back on it. But,
okay.
Yeah, so
this is all timely, but wait, you got to give me my moment.
Oh, Juice.
Because Mike, no, we'll get back to Juice. Mike didn't tell me that Paul Anthony was coming in studio. Okay. Now, you all know how I feel about my music. And so I just feel it is necessary for you to understand. That's why I made him run down the discography. Full Force, if you were not a child of the 80s, then you might not have a full appreciation for Full Force as artists. But people need to understand how many musical acts they have produced, how many songs they have produced for all kinds of hit makers throughout history. So I feel like I have grown up with them, and I have been riding with them ever since they released their first song. And I redid their a cappella arrangement of Love Me For Me, which is a song that they wrote wrote and gave to Lisa and Cult Jam, and I was joking about it earlier this week. That's why this is so amazing to me.
Wow.
I needed a moment to stand.
Full circle
I'm standing out, just so you all know. I'm bringing it back in. But I did an arrangement of their a cappella version of Love Me for Me for my college a cappella group. So this is...
Are we going to hear this? Is this something...
It's not well, I don't think we have a recorded version of it. But
I thought we had like an excuse about to hit the button.
But you do have some full force that we can jam out to very briefly.
Full force. Oh, you're putting your chest into it. Okay. All right, bring out the old wow.
Y'all know Mike doesn't have any rhythm right. He tries.
Roger Rabbit. Well, they're listening. Stop. The people listening think I'm jamming. All right, now I'm gonna bust a move. Here's some more Roger Rabbit.
You know about the Roger Rabbit?
Come on, of course.
He's older than me.
Don't go that far. We're the same age, Taylor. No, we did all that. Wow, all that stuff. I never had Cazals. I was snatching them. I was too busy snatching Cazals.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was a thug.
Okay.
Back in the day, yeah, hell.
I was gonna say, you see the side eye, don't you, ladies and gentlemen, watching us on Facebook Live?
I got all that. I got a whole closet full of 8-ball jackets from brothers that wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
You know the rules.
Uh-huh.
That's what the music does to you. There's something about
Full
the 80s.
Force doesn't do that.
I was
gonna
at
say,
an LL Cool J show.
Juice might do that.
Yeah, well, Juice, yeah.
So shout out, from the musical standpoint, because, I'm always all about the soundtracks. So shout out to Naughty by Nature Players Anthem. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Big Daddy Kane, Know the Ledge, Rakim. There's so many.
Well, Gravity, what he said, James Brown, Gravity, and then, all the Lisa. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Juice soundtrack.
Oh, Juice soundtrack. I'm sorry.
I'm working my way back to where you were.
Juice. Well, okay, we
So I'm just saying. So, shout out to the whole idea of Ernest Dickerson.
Yeah.
First of all, because for those people who are unfamiliar with the credit, if you don't stay and watch the credits when you watch your films or watch it on your DVDs, then Ernest Dickerson was Spike's director of photography for a lot of the major films, and Juice was his first feature film.
As a director, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the grittiness and the slightly crazy of the storyline for Juice was part of that vision. And when I was at Penn, we brought in Spike to give him an award, and he brought Ernest Dickerson with him. And so, Spike was in one of his moods. Spike can take or leave people very often. And so Spike wasn't feeling very talkative. Ernest Dickerson took up the slack. And really, if I wasn't into film already, him just speaking about what it takes to frame something, visually and tell the story through the visuals totally turned me on to that possibility.
He was definitely the secret sauce in all those early Spike Lee movies.
Absolutely.
Sort of like when they changed the recipe, it wasn't quite the same after Malcolm X.
Yeah.
But we may, just for full disclosure, we may have an opportunity to really discuss more in depth the work and art and career of Ernest Dickerson in a future episode. So
excellent.
So that's dope. But I mean, I need to get some money. I'll just put it that way.
Now all of a sudden, Mike is a capitalist.
I'm definitely a capitalist. All right, so I'll do it real quick. So we'll have to talk after the break. But this last weekend was great. So before I left, I got my little Chris Rock hat on.
I see.
So I went to see Chris Rock. Fortunate enough to be backstage.
Yes.
Right? And then the very next day, Kayla and I, we were at the Craig Robinson show. Fortunate enough to be backstage.
And all hell broke loose.
No, well, the thing in common, besides them being comedians, when you go back there, they got money, and you look off to the side, they got like a little tray full of fruit.
Yes.
All kinds of fruit.
Yes.
I'm like, how do you get that? You must need money to be able to have people bring you trays of fruit. So I just need to get some. I need my fruit tray action.
But you're not a performing artist.
I'll get you some fruit next time.
You get fruit.
I'll bring some fruit.
You get fruit when you perform on stage.
Oh.
Or other food.
So that Roger Rabbit I just didn't count as performing?
No, dear.
So it has nothing to do with the money.
Let me explain something to you. As someone who sang as a part of the Roots crew entourage for a minute, the vast amounts of both food and weed that will pass around backstage at Roots shows was incredible to me. And then you got to be real picky. So, for those people who aren't familiar with these terms, there's such a thing as a rider. that artists who are touring fill out about what they must have as a basic for their dressing rooms or for their entourage. And the Roots travel with like 35 people.
Okay.
And so always in the Roots rider was like trays of food. But as someone who is actually doing some of the performing, I can't express to you how annoying it is to have like 10 folks who are just there to eat and smoke and see the show, hanging around backstage, taking up all the couch space.
So the food,
all the clean air.
It's requisite. It doesn't have anything to do with how rich the performer is.
No.
Because you could be broke.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could be Jimmy Walker backstage and get fruit.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes. The venue is supposed to feed you.
Yes.
And then, so I need to be a promoter. Because I get all the money up front, and then I decide how much I'm going to give you at the end of the night.
That could work.
And then you see the fruit, and you're like, oh, I'm going to get paid. And then you walk out, and it's like, well, we didn't do that well today. Stephanie.
No, what should happen is that you get paid before you go on stage.
Yeah.
Okay. I've
you get paid for showing up.
I've been to shows where it's been 3-4 hours late. Waiting for people to get paid. So.
I will not begin to tell you all of my issues with if I'm performing for you regularly. Why am I still sitting around waiting for my money after I've done my third set?
Say it.
Pay me my money and let me go home. I've already been here for hours. I have done my job. That money should be ready when I take the stage for the third and final set. By the time I step off,
no. Have some mango.
Midnight,
No.
After I sung for 3 hours, give me my money and let me go home.
Have a mango. Have some cantaloupe. Be chill with that.
No.
This was a rough night on me. You don't understand the expenses.
No.
You know what I hate?
No.
When you've been playing at the same venue for like months and months, and I go and they be like, "Oh, it's the last day. Where my money? We got to mail it to you." It's been a month. What? I've been coming here for a whole 4 weeks playing your drums. Where my money?
No.
Where my money?
Okay, well, we'll have to talk about this Craig Robinson show.
Yes, when we come back.
Yeah.
So, yes, for all of you who have heard the controversy about the newscaster that got fired, we're going to get the inside scoop from Mike Dennis, who was there.
Caster, don't put the rest of the news forces on this one.
Okay, sorry.
That's some hype. She was an intern who just got a chance.
Okay, see, I told you I didn't watch the video, so I don't have the
we'll
inside.
Give you a whole
we'll get all
scoop. So stay
from
tuned.
Mike when we return.
Plan and book your next vacation with a company that's passionate about travel and service. That's Ergo Travel. Owner and travel expert Sharice Stewart has traveled extensively to bring her experience to you. Ergo Travel specializes in all-inclusive, Caribbean, foreign, and domestic travel. Personalized service to your dream vacation. Destination weddings, getaways, group travel. Payment plans are available. Call Ergo Travel 844-95-TRAVEL. ErgoTravel.com. Remember to plan, pack, and ergo.
Hi, I'm Bob Bogle, president of the Philadelphia Tribune. Congratulations to the class of 2017. I encourage you to take this opportunity to feel good about yourselves because you've earned it. You now know through determination and hard work you can achieve your goals. We've partnered with the Philadelphia School District and Wells Fargo Bank to publish our yearbook edition, which features photographs of Philadelphia's public and charter high school graduates. Pick up the Philadelphia Tribune Sunday, June the 11th for your copy of the yearbook edition.
Countless victims of human trafficking walk among us, invisible until now. The Blue Campaign provides a unified voice for those who work to combat human trafficking. It's time to open our eyes. Learn what you can do by visiting dhs.gov/Blue Campaign.
Are you planning to attend the annual Odunde Festival this Sunday? The Word family will be there in full force. Stop by and say hi at the Word Table, located at 2308 Grays Ferry Avenue. For Word members, wear your Word t-shirt to Odunde and get a second entry into the drawing to win a staycation package for a family of 4, a pair of John Legend tickets, or a $500 gift certificate to the Philadelphia Diamond Company. Not a member? Now is the time. We're extending our early bird rate of just $75 through the Odunde Festival. Start or renew your Word membership now at wordradio.com or by calling 215-425-7875 or sign up in person at the Word Table during Odunde this Sunday at 2308 Grays Ferry Avenue. For more information, visit wordradio.com.
What's up, y'all? This your man's Dwelle representing Detroit City, but I'm right here in Philly. When I'm in Philly, I'm checking out WURD.
Now, of course, that is also from the movie Purple Rain, but not on the Purple Rain soundtrack. It was only Prince music that made its way onto the soundtrack. But from the time featured in Purple Rain from their album Ice Cream Castles, and of course songs written by Prince anyway, and produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, that is the time with Jungle Love.
Yeah, and for those watching the Facebook Live, they were really making me feel awful.
I was going to say, forgive Mike. Forgive Mike for his non-dancedness.
Look, I can, you know.
We love him anyway.
Well,
but,
they've been challenging me on YouTube, too. I think, you know, in my effort to get rich, I'm going to go out today after I leave here, I'm going to buy a pink shirt.
And a pink shirt is
I noticed everybody with money got pink shirts. I know Pharrell has at least 5, 6.
Hopefully that's a good omen for you.
Pink is dope.
Kayla J's wearing a pink shirt today.
I think a pink shirt. Pharrell, he got 5 or 6 pink shirts. Kevin Hart, he's got pink shirts.
Say, there are only a few fashion notes that you can take from Pharrell, though.
Okay, well, the hat. That he thought he was going to start a trend when he got that hat.
Yes,
he did start a trend.
But I'm saying for you.
Oh, you said I can't because of the size of my body.
Yeah, honestly,
I can't go
that's
in
not
with
a
the
diss.
same.
Pharrell is a little teeny tiny skinny man,
really
and
is.
so wearing a big hat doesn't look quite as crazy on him because in scale it's kind of curious. But
wait, so now I'm confused. Wait, so it's not the shirt? I can't get Pharrell type money if I get the shirt.
You can try.
You could.
I'm sure your
You're messing with my dreams. I thought I could just go and get some fruit.
Your complexion can carry off pink well, I think. So, work it out.
I just want to be non-threatening because I know, Kayla, if I was at that comedy club acting that way, we
would have got kicked out.
Yeah, I was going to say, you would have gotten
unless
at
I
the
had a
very
pink
least
shirt.
tasered. You would have gotten at the very least tasered or worse. So give us the eyewitness perspective from how this white girl lost her mind right quick.
Well, I mean, we went check out the YouTube. Thank you, Kayla. It's her first time coming out, first time at Helium, and I think we enjoyed ourselves. Great show. Craig Robinson from The Office was performing, and we were there. We saw when she got let out.
Yeah,
that's such a nice way to put it. She got let out.
Well, it's very commonplace. Well, first off, any like a learning tool, anybody just assume that there's a camera somewhere, ready to go.
Absolutely.
So just be careful when you're going to act out. How much you're going to act out? Like, don't think you're on Showtime. Like, if you hear somebody say World Star, you need to zip it up and get moving. You can't just keep going. She was doing a mini series.
She was doing the most, though. She really was. She was doing the most during the show, outside the show. She was just loud, man.
Yeah.
Coming from a loud person, okay? Because I'm very loud. I know that. She was loud.
Right. So so she was in the club. And she could hear it because it was so loud, sold out show.
Yeah.
Right. So we had to stand in the back, and the manager said, "Okay, well, once Craig gets on, if there's any seats left, we can seat you. But right now we have no tickets."
Okay.
Right? So this is where my interaction was. Craig had just started, and Mr. Robinson, I should say, went into the bar area to go see. The manager. I'll leave everybody's name out because I know, the manager, to see what's going on. And she's like, please, she's just dropping names left and right. She's like, I was at the Borgata last night and I know the rules. I know, they made us like zip up our phones and everything. So I know we're not supposed to have phones, but I waited, 2 weeks. I bought these tickets 2 months ago to see Craig Robinson, and look, I just got off a 10-hour shift, and they were like, look, we came to you 3 times. You were texting, talking. Oh, I just texted, I love you to my, so it was like, no, you got to go, right? So that's like at least 5 opportunities, but no, she wanted her money. I bought these 2 tickets. It was $70. I need to see this show or get my $70 back, right? So that's where the problem happened.
Yeah, so just making sure that everybody's clear.
So $70 is what the value.
She was supposed to basically put her phone away and not use it during the course of this show. And people tell you all the time. When I went to go see the screening of Wonder Woman, they were like, "There is no one. If we see it, we are coming to get you and drag you out, and you are not allowed to return." Like they say, not just put your phone away. They say turn it off.
They've tapped me on the shoulder. I've been to heal him at least 50 times, and there was a moment where Kevin Hart came, and he was performing with Keith Robinson, and I went to take a picture for Keith. I got tapped. They deleted that photo.
They don't play this stuff anymore, folks.
So
put
you
it away.
And that's one warning, right? She's got 3 warnings. She wants her money back. This is $70. All this is about. So then I go the next morning to tag Will Sylvans, right? And it was like he posted a video 2 hours before. It had 10,000 views. But I'm looking at it, I was like, wow, that's what happened? That's a shame. And I'm watching it along. It's like 10 minutes of this. Basically, she had a boyfriend. I don't blame her. I said, like, it really should have been the person she came with should have, like, seen what was going on and gotten her out of there. Because she was not in any kind of form of control. Right. But he was just so soft about it. And
she was TUI, talking under the influence.
Yeah, so and she didn't throw any N-bombs. She was a little shady with her racism, but she definitely was exercising full-on white privilege, white girl privilege on that one, because she was almost like daring something to happen,
right?
And it's almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when you're in that space,
right? Exactly.
So so it just all came down on her. Like that video, which is floating everywhere. Yeah, it's at 3.4 million views.
Wow.
The next, as we speak, it's going to continue. It's going to keep going. She's lost her job over this because dummy. This is how stupid people are, right? So not everybody belongs in college. That's why we need to make America great again. Some people they're told what to do, and they're told, well, you should go to college and you should do this and you should do that. And apparently she got a job as an intern at a local TV station. I'm not even gonna mention names, because it's not even important. And she got an opportunity to like host some segments on the air, which is, I guess they liked her look or whatever. So I mean, she's not Roger Ailes. Like she was never gonna make it to Fox, but she made it to whatever. So dummy yells out, I work for the news. You gonna put this on the news? Well, yeah, you got your wish.
They put it on the news.
Did they?
You got your wish. Facebook News.
Listen, if they will rescind a college application because your dumb self is putting obscene memes out on the internet. This is why we say all the time, technology can be used for good, but when people exploit the opportunity that they have and they think that something is done, it is never done. Right? Even if people hire you for a job, it is never done. You are constantly being reviewed and assessed for whether you are keeping up with the demands of what the position requires and everything else. And you can't just go running off at the mouth in the name of, because she evoked the name of the station. And think that there won't be consequences. People aren't dealing with that anymore. You get fired for an errant tweet.
But, like I'm looking at this, honestly, I felt a little bad because it's sort of like, okay, well, but there's learning in this. So I think it's important to talk about. But she's stupid because
Say it again. Say it again.
He said that like the Pink Panther.
Yes.
No, the next morning, the newspaper calls her. Right, I wouldn't have answered. That's when,
that's when caller ID is your friend.
No, don't live here. Si habla español. I would have not. But Dum not only says, "Well, I don't even remember what happened," and I tried to call the station and I found out that I was terminated. They Trotsky'd her. Like you went to the website, you Google her, all you will find is this video. But Dum mentioned the other place she works. Yeah, I was at the bar where I work on South Street, and before we went to the club, I only had one drink at the club, but before we went, I had 2 shots, and she mentioned the name of the bar. Do you think she's working there now? No, you think she's at that bar? But still, but I mean, but but the reaction is like when people see this and they put it up next to the Sandra Bland video, it's just like, how did she come out of that jail?
Right.
Honestly.
Without any kind of scar.
Right.
Honestly.
How is she still, like, she just lost her job and it was over $70. What was, we see videos like that all the time.
It was over $70 and a complete lack of discipline because she rolled in there with a little something and drank on top of it. And she's clearly somebody that cannot manage her intake. She can't manage her interaction. Right. And so it was $70 and the escalation of her own bad judgment in that thing. And clearly a boyfriend who doesn't have enough influence in the relationship to go, shut up.
Yeah, a good slap. I don't advise slapping women.
No.
I don't advise it, but in that moment, 70.
I got to turn away from Mike right now.
$70. I would look. I'd buy you flowers next day, Kayla. No, you would not be in jail.
You slap me, I'm going to jail for sure enough because it's gonna be a dead body.
Okay, well, it's all estrogen up in this room. But brothers, you know what I'm saying.
No.
But he should have had some type of influence to tell her to be quiet.
You are really on a very slippery slope right now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was over, Mike.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people.
But I'm just saying, listen, and so
look, my mama slapped me.
That's different. Your mama did it.
That's completely different.
Well, not your girlfriend.
Then my mama, if she saw that on Facebook Live, she would have drove over and pulled by my ear. There's ways not to get arrested. Chris Rock did a great sketch.
And this is why. Now I'm not justifying it. That was one of the funniest Key and Peele ongoing skits of all time, where the girls, they dress up as the girls going to the club and they la 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 and all kinds of other stuff happens to them. For people who watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. And the guys are like, shut up. But at some point, there needs to be an understanding in relationships. When you are totally out of control in those things, he needs to be able to grab you and get you out of the situation. If you can't do it for yourself, somebody's got to care about you enough to save you from yourself in those instances. And her boyfriend needs to bear some responsibility of not getting her gone.
Yeah, so that's when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yes. Yep.
And also it's good for the culture because you see it was basically the inverse of the Sandra Bland. It was a black police officer and it was an out of control white woman, and then you put those two videos side by side, you really see where we are in the society. So I'm sorry, and she'll be fine. Trust me, she gonna work. She'll
be all right. She probably got some parental influence or some mentor somewhere.
Yeah. And at the very least, and I hate to even go that way, she's still breathing. So, so that's the main thing. Yep. But for those who can't get enough of me or just want to experience some great music,
where should they be tonight?
Tonight at the United Bank Building, 3750 Lancaster, we are doing a centennial tribute to Lena Horne, and we're going to share with everybody Lena Horne, the Lady in Her Music, which is her one-woman Broadway show, which
and it's
from
fabulous.
And it's and
it is Glenda times 100.
Yeah, so that's at 7:15 because we're on the CP time. I can't do 7. People be looking at me like Mike.
So that means 7:30, right?
Well, that's how it works out. 7:15 is what we say, but and it's not just me. It's the people that show up late too. People be rolling in.
Us folk
be like, oh, what?
You shouldn't groom those bad habits though, because those are the same people that show up late for concerts and for theatrical productions and wonder why they can't get in till after the first act. Because some shows are like, you don't interrupt the performance.
Sometimes if you show up late, you're right on time for that Cameraphones video as they're dragging people out. But anyway, please do not drink and come to my show because we will not have that. We don't, and we'll shut all the cameras down. But anyway, we'll bring bow-legged Lou in full force up because it's you saw Craig Robinson's audience. This is a different kind of thing than a Reelblack audience. But anyway, I've put my foot in my mouth like 8 times. I see the comments just please get me out of here.
Well, we
comments
love you.
Are just scrolling.
Forgive him. He's wearing his forward shirt, so we're gonna just let it roll. But it's always a pleasure. Will we see you out in the heat and humidity on Sunday?
At a Dundee? If somebody invites me, if not, I'm gonna stand and edit.
You are invited to a Dundee.
Well, I mean, I don't want. It's like
and wear your forward shirt.
Okay. You may see me. It just depends. I don't want to go all the way up there because it's like parking all that kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But
it is.
But I love a Dundee, and then also it's a toss-up if we go out to Dover for Jason's letter. So, but I know it's a great weekend for everybody, and thank you for everybody.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're saying toodles to our folks on Facebook Live, and me, the Angels, and Kayla J are going to reconvene in our noon hour, and we have a question that's specifically related to Black Music Month that Kayla J is going to pose to the audience, and we'll engage in that conversation with you all by phone, by Twitter, when we continue with this TGIF edition of The Mojo. Stay tuned.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't